Hey, Stefan here, and I am here today to talk about the DJI Mavic Pro. Epic failure. I mean, epic. It just breaks my heart. Well, I am taking this back, or I'm on my way to actually take this back to Best Buy because I cannot fly my drone because of the fact that I'm in a no-fly zone. Like, my entire city is literally a no-fly zone, when in fact it's controlled airspace. There are certain rules to be followed, but you can still fly. You have to email DJI, and then they really give you a runaround as to what they want documentation wise, and it's just a pain in the butt. So I am fuming mad. I really wanted this to work. It was something that has been on my radar for a long time. I really did my research, and just to find out on the day that I was sitting there all excited, felt like a 8-year-old on Christmas Day, right before I was getting ready to sit there and let this thing lift off the ground, that it said NFZ, which means no fly zone. So I am taking it back, because I refuse to be stuck with a $1,000 paperweight that I can't do anything with, and I'm not about to drive 2 hours or an hour just to fly a drone that I paid $1,000 for. So if anybody that works for DJI, it's pretty despicable if you ask me. I'm fully in agreement that certain things should be restricted, obviously, but it's ultimately up to the flyer, I believe, to be responsible, and to ground people's drones when they're in a zone that they can fly and operate in as long as they follow the law is just bad business. And I think, quite frankly, there are going to be a lot of other people like myself who are taking these back to the store because they just refuse to pay that much money, and they're limited as to where they can operate it, especially if they can operate it in their cities legally. So what I did was tried to fly the drone on the day that I bought it. Said no fly zone, so I had to contact DJI customer support and send them an email requesting for them to unlock my area where I live at, so that way I could operate my drone. Well, when I logged onto the website, my actual area, or my entire city, which I live in a good sized city, and it was entirely red, which is restricted. You have yellow and you have red according to the DJI map, and I'm red, so you cannot do that online like you can with a yellow zone. My understanding with a yellow zone is that you can actually request that online and get that taken care of fairly quickly, but with a red zone you're pretty much screwed, and that's kind of what happened to me. So I had to contact support. I had to send an email to flysafe@dji.com, explaining my circumstances, telling them where I wanted to fly, and then the waiting game began. I waited 3 days only for them to come back and tell me that they rejected my application to unlock the area where I live at so I can operate my drone safely. Basically, I'm done with it. I'm done with DJI. I think it's ridiculous. I agree there should be restrictions. Some people are boneheads. They don't do the right thing. They fly where they're not supposed to, but I'm not one of those people. I did my research. I read the website, went to the FAA, registered my drone, all that good stuff, and I did my research where I'm at in terms of my airspace, and I followed protocol, made notifications to my tower, all that good stuff. But it does not matter, because if DJI locks your drone, there's nothing you can do. You're stuck with a $1,000 plus paperweight that you cannot do anything with. Just be aware before you invest in a DJI drone, because if you're planning on using this for either recreational purposes, which that's what I was going to use it for, or commercial. If you're for hire, then you have to do it through commercial for the FAA. You may want to think about purchasing one of these drones, or any drone for that matter. I'm not just only picking on DJI, but you may want to do your research, because there may be some areas, rightfully so, that you can't operate it in because of the restrictions of the airspace that you might find yourself in. So if this is something that you want, you might want to do your research in terms of the airspace that you're at, and that you can operate your drone where you are intending to operate it. Because if you go on vacation, that website that I mentioned earlier, you're going to have to basically submit a request ahead of time if it's restricted airspace, and wait essentially 3 days for it to get approved. So basically what I'm saying is you have to do it ahead of time, so that way whenever you arrive at your vacation spot, that you'll already be authorized to fly the drone. Otherwise, if you don't do it ahead of time, then you're going to be stuck at your vacation site, and you're not going to be able to operate it because you're waiting on the approval. So I definitely would wag my finger at DJI and any other companies that kind of do this stuff. I think it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, you know, I agree with restrictions, but you know, to ground people's drones like that, and you can't do anything about it, is just ridiculous. And I really feel sorry for the people that have purchased their drones. They can't take them back because the store won't accept it, the manufacturer won't accept it, and they're basically stuck with a $1,500 or $1,000 paperweight that they can do absolutely nothing with. So anyway, that's kind of my little bit of my rant today. Just really think about it, and do your research, which I did, but I just want to kind of put this out there for others so that they won't have the same thing happen to them as it happened to me. So if you have a drone and you have a story similar to mine, or you just want to leave me a comment, I'll check the comments regularly, so that way I can kind of keep up with people who are buying drones, operating drones, and so forth. But it's a no-go for me. So thanks guys, appreciate the time. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to leave a comment, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. I think we're going to have a lot of good content on this channel. We're trying to build it. Any support that you can provide would be greatly appreciated, and we'll see you on the next video.